Good evening. My name is Jerry, Watchdog Group Corporation. I want to share some experience that I went through in 2025 and some issue that I will discuss in different segments. I'm going to try to cut the complete video to segments so that way I don't bore you for a long period of time. My intention is to summarize what I and my neighbors and my friends, my associates, my affiliates, not only in Chicago and the United States, but all over the world, we experience. And some of them were a very good experience, some of them were very sad. And we hope that the new year, 2026, will be more transparent for a lot of people we deal with, very successful for everybody, and healthy and peaceful. So anyway, I'm going to try to do this in the segments, as I said, the best as I can. I'm not no actor. I'm just ordinary person trying to do my thing and help everybody to understand their life a little bit better. Sometimes we want to hear from others. Sometimes we want to see it on the videos I'm composing right now, and I prepared some posters right here that I'm going to use them as a reference to kind of refresh my mind and on the things that I want to discuss with you guys. Well, as I introduce myself, my name is Jerry, and Watchdog Group Corporation is my legal corporation, state and federal recognized. And I am a disabled person. I'm 67. I became disabled 15 years ago. I have quite a bit of experience in life. Well, I lived for quite a while already, so I obviously have the experience. Some good, some bad. Some of it I learned from it, some of them I haven't. And I hope I will improve before I'm no longer here among you guys. But anyway, folks, let me get into maybe not so organized, but I'm going to try to prepare a little script over here, kind of guidance, so I can tell you what's happening. Okay, I was engaged quite a bit in 2025 in a lot of concerns that I'm going to address. Okay, this is the first segment. And the first segment will be about local, state, and federal government here in Chicago, in our state of Illinois. What happened in here last year, and will continue through 26, is this. A lot of residents, my neighbors, came to me and asked me, said, Jerry, why don't you represent us and go on our behalf and ask a question, what's going on with our local government? What's going on with our alderman's office? How come we're not getting the city services that we're supposed to get? What's going on with our police department? This kind of questions have been raised every day. And I try to get the answers for the people who authorize me to speak on their behalf. You know, and what I run into, some occasions, I run into this. I run into this. Closed doors by 23rd Ward particularly. That's one example. I was standing outside numerous times in the freezing rain with the noise by the flying airplanes over my head, buses pulling up right next to this office, and they wanted me to talk to them on intercom because they don't want to hear no truth. They don't want to let me in the office. That's how sick these people are. Where they have somebody else already in that office and talking to that person, but they won't let me in. I tell you some incident that happened on 23rd Ward. Well, a couple of them at least. I went to one of the constituents of 23rd Ward to ask about the windows problems that this guy had. They're supposed to be replaced because they were broken and leaking gas. They were broken because of the vibration of the train and airplanes flying over. And the city did initiate a program that will help some residents. So the city did replace the windows, but then the windows were defected. So they have to put the residents back on the list to get this corrected. So to make a long story short, I go with this person who doesn't speak English, senior citizen. I go in the front of this office, 23rd Ward on 63rd Street. And I try to go inside and with him and just ask a simple question. What's going on? What's the status about the windows? Well, that's what I get. Doors closed, no entries. Somebody else inside that office, no other constituents, yes. But because me, Watchdog Group Corporation, was with that person, they would not allow me inside there. Anyway, so I step away. I walk away from the view of these people, and the constituent, the person, senior citizen who didn't speak English, was allowed to enter the office when the people from inside, the employees, see me leaving. All right, so the employees of the 23rd Ward got the translator on the phone to help this guy to understand what's happening, this and that. They tried to manipulate him. And anyway, how do I know? Well, I know because I talked to him later on and he told me. So anyway, so he got inside the office. He asked questions regarding the windows and so on and so forth. And he got an answer. We will contact you. We will let you know. Guy left. He left next morning. Some of the employees, somebody from the 23rd Ward called his daughter, does not live in the jurisdiction of 23rd Ward, but however, because she was the daughter of the guy who did live in the 23rd Ward, they call her and they tell her this. Now watch it and brace yourself. Listen to this. They basically threaten through the daughter, the father, threatened the father, that if he shows up, these are the exact words, if he shows up with me, Jerry, or Watchdog Group Corporation, anybody represent my corporation, one more time at 23rd Ward's office and ask question about the windows, he's not only going to prolong the process of getting these problems corrected, but he might never get this issue resolved. This is sick, disgraceful. So see, that's what I'm sorry, I'm raising my voice a little bit, but that's the kind of issues I'm sure you guys going through on a daily basis. That's only one of them. If you want to know any more, you can contact me at 464-204-8278. Now we're going to go to the next segment. 14 Ward. I have a good relationship with these people. I don't have no problem to coming in the office. But however, I had a problem with confirming and recognize the fact that certain requests initiated by the residents of 14 Ward through me, which I was legally authorized to ask questions on behalf of the residents, are not recognized by the Alderman's office. That's a big issue. Would the Alderman's office and 14 Ward employees tell me, well, we're not going to talk to the third party. If they have a question, they could come in or call us. Guess what? The residents, either they are disabled, the sick, senior citizen, or if they are in a working condition, younger, they work. And when that office is open, they at work. So when they come back, the office is closed. So the 14 Ward, for example, come up with this answer. Well, we have an email. They could send us the email. Well, what if somebody doesn't have a computer, senior citizen, or they don't know how to work that email? That's the one thing. This is sick. This is avoiding the constituents, disrespecting people, and disrespecting me, and not allowing me to do the service for the people they ask me to do. I don't know what you call that kind of conduct. But I mean, I'm halfway decent terms with them, so I'm going with the flow again. But so that closed the 14 word. If you have any questions or any related issues with those people, you could call me 464-204-8278. All right, now we go to the next one. Next segment is about 23rd word. 23rd word. Oh, not 23rd. I'm sorry, 22nd word. 22nd word. What happened there? One of the residents that lives nearby me, and this particular person I know for about close to 25 years, he asked me a very similar thing. He said, Jerry, why don't you go to my alderman's office and talk to them, see if I can have a meeting with somebody that will make sense. I have a trees damaging my side, going underneath my sidewalk, damaging my property. I have problem with the water valve being, concrete was poured by the city over the valve outside his house. I have numerous service requests and I don't know what to do with it. Go talk to those people for me if you can, please. You got my authority, my statement, and I authorize you to do that. I say, okay. No problem. I go do it. Okay, I go over there, the same answer. Same answer I got from 14 word. What the employees of the 22nd ward tell me, they say, no, Jerry, we're going to listen to you, but we're not going to do nothing. Basically, that's what they say. If the constituents got any issues or want to have a meeting with the alderman or any high representative of our office, they have to contact our office directly. Same story, same hogwash, whatever you want to call it. All right, with this person, I even went a step farther. One day, that person was off, the resident was off from job. He said, Jerry, let's go together, since my notary statement, notarized, doesn't do any good. Let's go together face to face and talk to the employees over there in 22nd Ward and let them know that any question that I have needs to be addressed through you, period. We go to the office and we address the issue with him present, face to face, that this is the constituent's right to have anybody represent him and the matters that concerns him within the city services and anything else with the jurisdiction of 22nd Ward. 2 days later, complete disregard when I go and do the follow-up, try to ask them simply question. I say, hey, what's going on? Jerry, we cannot talk to you. Wow, there you go. 2 days before, they had the commitment from me and the constituents of 22nd Ward and asking clearly, please communicate through this person, Watchdog Group Corporation, on any kind of things that I might have within my properties. You talk to that person. They don't listen. So that closed that chapter. You have any question about 22nd Ward? You have any good news or bad news? It don't matter. Please call me at 464-204-8278. That closed that chapter. Next one. Next one is about the issues that I face with our court system, Cook County court system. What's happening after all this incident that I had with the 14th Ward, 23rd Ward, 22nd Ward, state representative also, which I haven't talked about it that yet. That's another ignorant idiot. Excuse me. I have filed several lawsuits against the ward offices, 14th ward, 23rd, 22nd ward. What happened, the judges says, you cannot do that, Jerry. You have to be specific. You got to have the name of the person, the alderman, and the city of Chicago. That's nothing but bureaucracy. But anyway, I went along, I filed another motion. Here I'm wasting time and money to try to help my people, residents of city of Chicago, to get their voices to be heard. And I'm doing this. Besides that, I almost ran out of money. So I figured since I'm disabled, I'm 67, I don't own any property. Yeah, I'm the trustee to one house that I lived for 47 years that my mom left to the trust. And because my name shows up on the record somehow, the judge says, no, you're not going to get a fee waiver. Well, the judge didn't tell me that. He just stamped it on the paper and county sheriff just handed it to me, wow, your waiver is denied. So I'm trying to file a motions again to demand why, what is the basis why my fee waiver was demanded. And I tell you what I'm thinking. Why? Why? Because I'm trying to sue the city services. And the judge don't give a shoot about that. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. So that closed that chapter of legality, what's going on in our Cook County system. If you have any question about that, please contact me at 464-204-8278. I have a lot of information that you're not hearing on this video that I can share with you that you could find very useful. So that closed that chapter. Now, next chapter is about our problems that we have in our neighborhood. That happens everywhere. I understand that. Our neighbors and residents of where I live outside Chicago do understand that also. But it doesn't mean that we just got to close our eyes and don't do nothing and shut our mouths and don't say nothing. That doesn't work that way. So anyway, I keep on addressing the concerns and issues to the police department regarding the prostitution, parking in residential area of the commercial vehicles, licensing, illegal repairs going on in businesses conducted in residential area with no permits, no license. Police are not responding to the request to 911, and I will have a video tomorrow that I'm going to go see one of the residents. The incident just happened not too long ago. We had floods in our houses. We have problem with railroad train. Railroad right next, a couple blocks away from our residence. Houses are having tremendous problems for vibration. Pictures are shaking on the wall. Concrete, the foundation is breaking. Water gets into the basement. Houses get flooded. And I'm not exaggerating. This is true. This is what happened. And we keep on asking these concerns. Some of them, I gotta say this. I'm not going to only complain about things. I'm going to give the positive feedback also. Prostitution, after about 6 months, we've been banging, pretty much so, on the police doors and on the alderman's office, did melt down. 90%, that's a high rate. Now, drugs in the illegal commercial vehicles, somewhat that has been done. Nobody's saying, and I'm not trying to get any credit for it, but that, in fact, did change in a positive way. The neighbor that I mentioned about the trees and the sidewalk and the water valve being cemented, somewhat, maybe 30% of his issues has been done. But we have a lawsuit pending, and I'm going to see what the judge is going to say on each individual lawsuit this upcoming week or next thing. So this briefly tells you what's going on in this chapter. Again, if you have some similar issues that you want to address, you could call me at 464-204-8278. Okay, now we go to another case. As you know, I some of you guys know I already have 3 different channels on YouTube. One of them is Life in Chicago with Jerry. The other one is Watchdog Group. The other one is Watchdog Group around the globe. Why 3 of them? Because in the first channel, Life in Chicago with Jerry, I'm trying to show ordinary life and ordinary things we go through every day, myself personally and my friends and neighbors. Watchdog Group is more like administrative thing and other law cases, legal cases, and ward officer, state representative, and things like that. I'm trying to concentrate on that. Which, you know, we've been doing this on the YouTube only for about 1.5 years. So we're not at the place that we want to be. What I'm saying we, because I have several people working with me. I have people working for me in Pakistan, Japan, Nigeria, Africa, some throughout the United States. Remotely, yes. Some of those people I met personally myself. And I've been together with them for years. So that's about my channels. Now, I also try to reorganize a lot of things in 2026. Well, mainly those that I just mentioned. But I'm going to tell you what I intend to do in the next chapter about 2026. At least I'm hoping I'm going to accomplish a lot of that stuff that I intend to do. So I'm sorry if I'm all over the board, but that closed this chapter. So if you have any question regarding this, what I just mentioned, call me 464-204-8278. Thank you. Okay, here we go to the next one. I personally, guys, have a lot of issues going on also in Poland. I have inheritance. My late mom passed away 4 years ago. I have open cases for about 4 years right now. And that government is driving me batty. I have 2 attorneys working for me over there overseas to try to sort this out. Finally, they making tremendous progress. Because I had about 5 different attorneys in the past, and they just drained me completely. I'm broke. Anyway, so right now I'm reorganizing this a little bit. That's what's going on in my private thing. You know, the Polish cases, because my mom passed away 4 years ago, I have outstanding bills for the burial. Now, I did receive help from FOIA, but see, this is wonderful help for people here in the United States, but does not release the spouse. My father, bless his health, and I hope he lives another 100. He's only 92, but that responsibility lies on him. Now, I will not be putting this on him, but what's happening after my mom passed away, I become the enemy number 1 because there's no more support. I cannot afford to support everybody, including my brother. I got 1 brother, and my father and everybody else riding free. So they tried to nail me with this FOIA stuff. And what I was beginning to say from the beginning, the burial, okay, no matter how people do get the FOIA assistance here in the United States, it doesn't apply for the spouse living someplace else and not to be responsible for the cost of the burial. That lies against the inheritance and against the surviving spouse. But that's illegality. I have to deal with that. So that's what's going on in Poland. I'm looking for somebody to help me sort this out. I think I found somebody, but I'm exploring any avenues that you could help me. Any folks in the United States and Poland. I'm still wide open. So that closed that chapter. My phone number again is 464-204-8278. Thank you, folks. All right, now let's see. Next paragraph, I'm going to try to talk to you a little bit about a couple other things, what's going on. Let's see. All right, I composed this poster to kind of remind me, this is my jetmobile. Okay, well, this is not my jetmobile, but it kind of shows that Some people sit back and try to do 45 miles an hour. Well, minimum speed 45 miles an hour, right? But the jetmobile is going only 15. What I'm trying to show you guys, you have to start doing something. We all got to do things, and we got to get on the jetmobile and start writing. Start knocking on the door, start to talk about it, and not only talk about it, but do something. Physically go to the offices, file the lawsuits, get the people responsible to react and do the jobs. We the one who pay the taxes, and we need to know where the tax money goes to. Now, I'm not no dreamer. I know this goes on everywhere. Nonetheless, if you have any suggestion, help us out. There's a tremendous impact that you could have on a lot of lives, a lot of families that I work with. My phone number again is 464-204-8278. That should close that chapter pretty much. And we could go to the next one. Okay, next one is people getting tickets in Chicago, left and right. The tickets being put, parking tickets being put on underneath the wipers. Some of the tickets even show the wrong address. The vehicle is parked someplace else, but the address on the ticket is totally different. Somebody is scamming big time. People are busy. You know, you guys are busy, I'm busy. And we say, oh, okay, we get rid of that ticket. So we pay it without checking the stuff. And you know, that's where our money go. Back to the finance department. And you know what? They don't care. They collect the money. You went wrong. And if you're looking for service from the city, we don't have no money. This is finance department. Writing tickets. Left and right. But that's another issue that we could talk about. Parking problems and parking tickets and all sorts of issues like that related. You can call me at 464-204-8278. That's another concern that hurts very much. Okay, next one. I work with a lot of residents, people in need. Some of the folks have relationship problem, alcohol problem, drug-related problem. And you know what happened most of the time? This folks goes to rehab. If they're lucky, they go to rehab. And you know what happened? They spend 30 days, and after that, out the door. We don't know you anymore. Most of the time. You know, some of them might end up in some secondary house, and so on and so forth, and try to get their lives together. And it's hard out there. You know, it's very hard. So I come in, they come in to me and say, hey, Jerry, can you do something? Can you help us? Here, I got another example in here. This guy over here, he's getting out of the rehab. All right? He's getting out of the rehab this coming week. I know him for about a year. He's going through divorce issues. And since I'm very familiar, I'm not trying to play lawyer, but I'm very familiar with the life issues that people face. I think I'm going to help him some more. I put him in the hospital before a couple of times. Well, I report him. I didn't hurt him or anything. I report him when he needs the help because nobody was there to help him. His family member videoed him when he was on the sidewalk, halfway dead. He's got an insulin problem on top of the alcohol problem. And they made the video of him. Hey, what are you doing over here? And I got the handle of that video. But instead of helping this guy, put him in the hospital, get him help, they just make the video and didn't do nothing. So I put him on the missing person list because I couldn't find him. With the help of somebody very good in the police department in Chicago, there are some good people, I was able to locate him. But because he had a pending order of protection because he's going through divorce, and he was found in the property that he was in, he didn't know he was there. But anyway, he was there. So when the police found him, Well, matter of fact, you know what happened? I think the family member called on him that he's at the property. And they arrest him. He ended up in the jail. Now he's in rehab. So maybe he will get his butt all straight now. We'll see what happens. But anyway, so those are one of the things that I deal with. I also work with immigration issues. There's a fellow right now in the correction facility charged with a felony charge. I mean, he found his boyfriend messing around with some other guy at his apartment. And supposedly he put some kind of sharp object, threatened this guy that he's got to leave. The lease of the property was on the guy who I'm talking about, his name and his girlfriend's name. So the third man didn't have no business to be there other than perhaps he was invited by the female to come in without the other guy's knowledge. I don't know what the agreement was between those two, renting the apartment and so on and so forth. So anyway, so the guy is facing a lot of serious problems. He's facing the charges, that's the number one. And another thing, he's from foreign country and he filed for asylum because it was too dangerous for him to live in the country that he was before. So he haven't completed that. So with the federal things going on now with the ICE and so on and so forth, even if he gets his case resolved, the felony case, the criminal case, he is potentially faced with a very dangerous situation and might be even deported from the United States back to the original country. So I got the state representative and a senator's office involved in this issue, and I have a meeting on Monday to see if we could help him and somehow figure out what is his possibility. So that closed that chapter. So you see, I'm doing a lot of different things. Anyway, if you have any information or know-how, how to deal with some of those issues that I just mentioned, you could call me, 464-204-8278. Again, 464-204-8278. That closed that chapter. So let's go to the next one. Okay, folks. You know, just yesterday, I had a concern with one of the employees of mine. I consider this guy as a friend. He's from Pakistan. We've been working together on this project that I just described, some issues and many other things, for the past 7 years. Very smart guy. And we've been coming to disagreement on and off. It's a part of learning, I guess. But I came to the conclusion that this guy don't want to learn. And I'll tell you why I think that way. Because, you know, I keep on asking, talking to him back and forth. And a lot of times he turns around, he complains that he's got pressure. Well, nobody said the life's going to be easy. It's not easy for me, and it haven't been. And I don't think it's going to be any easy. I hope that 2026 is going to be more productive and more healthy and more positive for everybody. So anyway, going back into this guy, I composed some posters for him. I got so upset yesterday, early today I should say, that I composed this poster. And I hope he gets the message, because talking to him don't look like it's getting anywhere. So anyway, this is a poster, shows the person running, trying to catch on with the runaway train, and the train operator stick his head out with his tongue hanging and try to make a fun of this guy. So bottom line is, my guy in Pakistan is running, try to catch on with the train. He probably will never do that, never get it. Another poster I composed for him, to use the mirror and look at the mirror and see what he sees. Most likely he will not see his image that he's supposed to see. He's going to see some kind of foreign cowboy riding on a camel. That's what I feel about him. Or maybe better, he will have a better transportation. That is, That's him standing in front of the mirror and trying to see the image of him in the mirror. And what he does see, another cowboy, this time from different part of the world, riding on a donkey. This one is better. I'm not trying to make a fun of this guy. I'm just trying to make him to understand and realize that, look, life goes on. Shape up. Don't talk about it that you are perfect, you're professional, this and that and other stuff, and you got too much pressure you cannot handle. Be specific. Itemize things. Be professional. Anyway, this is another image. Supposed to be this guy looking in the mirror. And at this time, he's not seeing the images that I showed you previously. He sees monkey. Instead of himself, he sees monkey. All right. Well, this is another one. I composed this image for him. This one, runaway train trying to run his butt over. And the kid is pulling his leg out, trying to slow him down because he don't know where he's going. This is another image, and I'll tell you in a minute why I've done this. Because I want to save his soul, and I want to help myself, and I want to help him, and make our 2026 more productive, more understandable, very successful year. And I hope we could do it together, me and him. If we don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for us. Now, this is another image. Him looking in the mirror, and what he sees, that's what he's going to see. If he's going to sit on his rear end and do nothing, he's going to see overgrowing baby and the mirror getting bold and old. Or perhaps he's going to visit his doctor, psychiatrist, and he's going to beg him, as the statement says in here, hey doctor, my brain is caught on fire. I'm about to explode. Please help. Or, watch this. Or he's going to end up out on the street with the old rusted coffee can and with the sign says, I'm hungry. Please help. Or, if he wake up on time and do the adult and as adults supposed to do, professional way, he might do this. He might end up with a sack of money if, of course, he knows how to count it. Or, if he chooses not to, well, he could continue changing the diapers and try to hold his nose and say, oh my God, that's now too bad. Well, get off your butt, do something. Yes, I'm not disrespecting kids. I'm not trying to send the wrong message. Kids need to grow up. But the father, instead of closing his nose and running away, should be responsible and take his responsibility in his hands. Well, again, if he wakes up on time, and I hope he does have a good sleep, and I talk to him in the morning, and perhaps, if he gets lucky, he might get that sporty-looking car and a nice-looking woman right next to him, and maybe he could enjoy himself if he's smart. I think he is smart, but whether he's going to use it, his smarts and his knowledge, that's another story. That's like this. You could have a million ideas, but if you don't know what to do with it, the ideas are worthless. Well, and then what happened, if you don't know what to do with your idea, you could wait for another train, and who knows, that train might come or may never come. So, that closed that chapter, and if you have any comments about that, I'm really disappointed of my friends in Pakistan. I'm hoping we could come to some kind of conclusion and rebuild our relationship and start acting really, really professional. And I don't know what to say. I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming that I'm perfect. But I believe we got a hell of a journey that we could complete in 2026 together. Very successful, not only for us, but for everybody that we work with and represent. Thank you, folks. My phone number again is 464-204-8278. 464-204-8278. Okay, now we go to the next chapter. Boy, I didn't know that I make that many posters in here. Anyway, folks, here is November dates that makes the money. Okay, well, this probably will apply to the previous message that I was trying to speak about my friend in Pakistan. This is the time glass. And you see the coins over here, and then what the message says: money at all costs leads to consequences. Stop and think before you build. That's another very important statement that I made. I believe I shared that with him. But in this sector also I want to talk about a couple other things. That's what usually I get from the person that I spoke about before. Crocodile tears. Crying about the court cases. Save you crocodile tears. And that applies to the ward offices. 14th Ward, 22nd Ward, 23rd Ward. Yeah, I will see them in court and let's see who's going to cry. It might take me a while, but you know what? That's life. I'm just going to keep on going. So I think that will close that segment. Hold on, if I'm right. Now we could make it a little longer. Okay, this is not the year. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. The 2026. I want to make that year not full of dreams. This is the year of building. Would you help, folks? Please help. Please help. Honestly, please help. You've done tremendous work watching my channels with the support. But I'm asking you again, please help. Let's build this new year together. Work hard. Tell the truth. Make the difference. That's what the Watchdog Group Corporation is going to do. Hopefully, with your help. Now, this is, okay. That's another poster that I composed. And I'm going to read the statement. This is Vicious Dogs. And what this poster says, Watchdog here is to stay. Yes, we're here to stay and watch. Not only those who choose to destroy, that's who we're going to watch. Mother Earth, and blame it on the runaway train. Yes, the Mother Earth and the blame is on the runaway train. See this train? That's the watchdog. And the next, okay, but also watchdog here is to help, or at least try to help all of us, save us, not destroy each other. That's exactly, when I composed this, these are my words. Yes, I used the AI to help me to compose all these posters. And this is something that I create for the Polish audience because I originally came from Poland in 1977. I'm bilingual. I understand the culture quite a bit. And I deal with a lot of Polish community in here. This is a very honorable poster that I composed, expressing the Watchdog Group movement. That's what I do. Now, this represents what I said from the beginning, Watchdog Group Global. we're not very large, not very big, but we're trying to reach everybody, including the people in Pakistan, Nigeria, Poland, and many other countries. So I started a tremendous movement. And we're looking for the justice and accountability. Now, this one over here, the last one, this lady's over here called Flip Chicago, I believe. I've met one of those ladies personally, and I'm trying to get in touch with them. They're fighting a lot of rights for the black people here in our area. I'm going to try to get in touch with them next week. So anyway, folks, I think that concludes my summary, and I'm going to see if I can do something else in the upcoming next few days or so. And again, my phone number is 464-204-8278. 464-204-8278. My YouTube channels are Life in Chicago with Jerry, Watchdog Group, and Watchdog Group Global. Thank you for your support. Wish you a Happy New Year again. Successful, prosper New Year. And I'm asking you again for your help, for your acknowledgement, not only for me, but for all the folks that I work with, whether they're senior citizen, whether they come from different countries, different background, different religion, young people, older people, professional people, doesn't matter, folks. I spend my life on helping people, and I continue to do this, and I will do that by myself or with people that are helping me. It's just me. I just do that. Hopefully I will make some sense with my friend in Pakistan tomorrow, and we will have another day. All right, folks. Thank you. I'm going to cut this video in so many different segments and identify them by different thumbnails or something so I don't get in trouble. All right, thank you.